Hi everyone, this is CoinsKid. It's going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for your support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So right now, Bitcoin is retracing as anticipated and conforming to this pattern that's potentially at play, because like I said to you, the pattern that's in play is invalidated away, and we had this massive rising wedge just there. Boom, boom, boom. Target met, pattern complete. Okay, then we've broke out of this large falling wedge. You've come back up. You've tested this level just there. I do expect a test of that level, and then eventually a test of that level just there. Okay, and like I said to you, you know, if you look at this pattern here, when I was saying 28k here, it didn't, it looked, oh, it's going to be invalidated, it's talking at his arse, and then it eventually got there. Okay, look at how quickly that pump was from that level just there. Okay, it absolutely melted. You capitulated basically, and you got to the target relatively quickly, because this can crawl. Okay, when you have these targets, especially on the daily time frame, they can take forever to get there, trust me. Okay, so just like the targets that we've got on the Fibonacci above, you know, when I spotted it in 2019, laid down the fibs and saying we're going to go to 63k, and no one believed me, but eventually we got there, didn't we? And you know, it's the same with this 200k prediction up here off the Fibonacci as well, the 2.272 up there. I know the 2.272 Fibonacci extension up there. It's not going to get there overnight. You know, it's a long drawn out cruel process, just as this was. Really, this was a bit parabolic, this sort of move, wasn't it, from this low, this corona dump down here, boom, see you later. Look, it got there relatively quickly, to be honest with you, and that's why, you know, you roll back here and you found a key level of support for continuation, because if you do hold this support, you are looking at continuation. And right now, Bitcoin is rolling, okay, and looking for a key level of support. I've given you those levels of support. Primarily, what we do want to see, which would be beautiful, is get the bounce off the daily 20 EMA, hold that as support. But if you do start to fall under it, you have got your key levels, okay? So just there, let me move this. So this right shoulder, you've got the 050, which I told you, if you look on the order books, you'll see a lot of traders putting bids around this level on the 050, because it's a nominal retracement level, okay, in these impulsive and corrective waves. So, you know, this is a really, really strong area of support. If you do start to see that lost for Bitcoin and you do roll any more, do anticipate that this potential level here, the 0618, needs to hold at 33,804, because if you start to lose that, there's a high probability that you're going to come down and create something called a reversal wave, okay, where you're not going to get the retracement and you're not going to form that new impulsive wave up, and you're actually going to start to lose it and come back down and retest this low, okay, which, you know, it wouldn't be a bad thing if it did do that, but it just means that the journey towards 200k is longer and greater. Now, there is some bullish news coming out about Bitcoin on-chain data analysis, and that I do like to look at that, because it does tie up. I'm going to show you that in a moment. And equally, you know, I've not been looking at DXY for you. I'm going to remind you of the DXY. Just the DXY, look at this. Okay, so this is a daily. You're forming one big massive bear pennant at the moment with a continuation. Like I said to you, the DXY is in a continuation pattern to the downside, in my opinion. You have a little bit of a fake out just there, a little bit of a throwback. You come back in, you've broken out this rising wedge. I mean, don't forget, a couple of weeks ago, I think longer than a couple of weeks ago, I was telling you DXY was bearish, and I had trolls on the videos telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, you're in a bearish continuation pattern. When you do see the DXY roll, this is where you're going to see Bitcoin pump, and lo and behold, the DXY started to roll, and what's Bitcoin done? It's pumped, isn't it, up to a key level of resistance, which you want to see. It's hit the level of resistance, which we anticipated, that trend line, and also another key level of resistance, which is an upper level of previous support, which I've shown you. And obviously you're rolling right now, because, you know, with this, it's correlated. It's a direct correlation, like I've shown you so many times. This is the daily time frame for the DXY. If you bring up the RSI just there, you've got a massive hidden bearish divergence. You're falling into a horizontal triangle, okay, you're making lower highs and high lows. Basically, you know, you're rolling effectively. You're in some kind of continuation pattern at the moment with a hidden bearish divergence. So with that, like I said to you in so many videos, if you do start to see the loss of support here, this is where you're going to see Bitcoin absolutely take off, and crypto into space right here, you know, that fifth wave, Elliott wave theory. So there's a DXY, which in my opinion is looking relatively bearish. You may see some kind of upside on the DXY and relief rally, and with that, that's where you're going to see Bitcoin potentially roll to a key level of support. But fundamentally, Bitcoin looks extremely bullish, and technically as well. You know, I do see a lot of people thinking we are in a bear market, but until we get them bear market signals, we are not in a bear market, I'm afraid, and that is the truth of it. I'll always tell you what I see. I won't feed you no spiel. So right now, I'm going to show you this particular article. Okay, so we're just looking at this particular article. Okay, this is from the Insider, which is a big website. Look, Markets Business Insider. I'll drop a link to this particular article. Okay, so Bitcoin is on the verge of a 34% rally as technicals signal risk on mode for cryptocurrencies. Fairlead's Katie Stockton says. So basically, this is sort of confirming my technical analysis that I am seeing an upside for Bitcoin and a potential retest of key levels of support before breaking out of that resistance level and continuing with the trend, which is an uptrend because we're an uptrend on the daily. Okay, we are in that retracement. So Bitcoin could surge 34% from current levels as technicals signal a risk-on environment for cryptocurrency market, according to Fairlead Strategies' Katie Stockton. Stockton expects Bitcoin to consolidate its recent gains for the next 1 to 2 weeks. That's pretty much that right shoulder that we're anticipating, isn't it? And, you know, bless him, the late adopters moon phase cycle as well, which would coincide with the bottom and then a potential pump. So that's great. You know, it is all basically technical as well. Okay, it's probabilities. So Bitcoin is likely to clear 42,600 for a revised upside target of a secondary Fibonacci retracement level near $51,000. Stockton said. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean it has to happen, but it's, you know, it's nice to see other people in the space sort of backing up my own technical analysis and my own sort of theories as well. So this is great. This is good. This is what I want to see. Okay, so the bear market callers, you know, at the minute, I honestly don't understand why people say we're in a bear market. I don't get that, because we're not in a bear market. We're in a corrective phase of a bull market. Okay, we've got overextended. You know, we've carried out all these patterns. The corrections in play. They've done and dusted. We've come down to a key level support. You know, we've broken up here. We've broken negative downtrend structure here, where we're consolidating under a range. We've held support relatively well of at 1.272 Fibonacci retracement, which we have done in previous bull runs, which I've shown you multiple times. The DXY is bearish, so you're looking for continuation of the downtrend in the DXY, which indicates you're looking at more upside and continuation of the bull run for Bitcoin. So there's a correlation. So I don't see why people are saying we're in a bear market at the moment. Yeah, obviously you're fully aware, if we do start to lose key market structural support and we do start to fall lower, especially, I mean, the 20k, that is something that Bitcoin is never done in a market cycle. Okay, so what I want to show you right now is this particular chart, this on-chain data analysis, okay, from Glassnode's. I'll show you this right now. Okay, so this is an article by Plato Blockchain. Significant number of BTC leaves exchange addresses, which, you know, if you look at the history of Bitcoin when it's done that, is a relatively bullish signal. Creates something called a supply shock. So I look at on-chain indicators of Bitcoin and BTC and Ethereum, more specifically the balance of tokens on addresses that belong to exchanges. So basically BTC on exchange addresses, the amount of BTC held in exchange addresses has been decreasing since the March 2020 bottom. On April 11th, exchange addresses held only 2.463 million tokens, which was the lowest since November 2018, which is effectively the end of the previous bull market. It's the capitulation, from what I remember, of the previous bear market. So just here, let me show you. Okay, so just here, basically, you know, since this wave 3 high, look, wave 3 high, price appreciation, this is the price action, the grey line, okay, and the gold line, the yellow line, is basically Bitcoin and exchanges, the balance. So you can see that when this wave 3 high started, we had this decrease in Bitcoin and exchanges. Then, just as we peaked out just there, you know, there was a contribution towards the sell-off by more Bitcoin coming on exchanges. Look, the capitulation event. Look at the upside of Bitcoin coming on exchanges. People panic selling, which is what contributes to the sell-off. But since then, you know, in this consolidation range here, you're starting to see more Bitcoin come back off exchanges, which is always indicative, you know, just like this wave 3 high, when you start to see the Bitcoin leaving exchanges, it's always indicative of upside in the market, and that's exactly what you've got here for Bitcoin. You've got a bit of a supply shock. So potentially, if this continues right now with the trend, you know, you're seeing a sell-off, not a sell-off, you're seeing the Bitcoin leave exchanges, a little bit of upside coincided with the drop, and then continuing with the Bitcoin leaving exchanges, where you're going to see the continuation of that wave 5 here for Bitcoin, and continuation of the bull market. So this is on-chain data analysis, and this is bullish. Okay, this is a bullish on-chain technicals leading to a supply shock, which increases the price, just like down here. Okay, when we started this wave here, what happened? Money, Bitcoin was coming off exchanges, boom, price went up. So again, it is theory based, but so far the on-chain data looks relatively good for Bitcoin for continuation of the bull, and we're starting to see that signal just there. Okay, so that's some kind of data for you to look at. But what I want to show you right now is the total market cap of crypto, right? So this is the total market cap for crypto. Okay, these green vertical lines, these represent the halvings, the Bitcoin halvings. Okay, so you can see just there, you roll back, and just after the halving, you started to experience that big, massive wave up there. Do you see that? Where you topped out on the 4 Fibonacci extension. Okay, so this is what you'll see a lot of people talking about, diminished returns on each cycle. Well, that's obvious. Okay, so you can see that in this particular previous bull market just there in the 2016 one to 2018, where you topped out sort of early 2018 entered that bear market, you can see that all the targets were met. Okay, look, you got through the 2.272, back tested it, held its support, see you later, and you absolutely melted all these levels above, and you got really overextended just there on the 4. Do you see that, of the Fibonacci extension? And that's where you run into a level of resistance, and you start to come back, create that bear market just there. And from there, we've laid down our fibs on this low just there. That's actually just there. Okay, just there. And this is where you can see, you know, that Bitcoin peaked out on that previous bear market, came back down, previous bull market, sorry, came back down into a bear market, bottomed out, and now you're looking at these extensions here. And this is what I mean about diminished returns. Okay, so basically you've ran almost into the 1618 here at $2.8 trillion for crypto, which is the technical target, the 1.618. okay, so just ran shy of that particular target. Let's make sure that that's on the knob just there. Okay, so that's got to be on the knob. So yeah, you just ran into it, just shy of it, to be honest with you. But what you did was really good. You came back and you held the 1.272 as support. Look at that. And also the 55 EMA. This is the weekly time frame for crypto. Okay, the total market capitalization. So you've come up in a bull market, you've hit a peak, you've rolled back to a key level support, you're holding support on the weekly time frame, you're in a bullish cross on the weekly time frame, you're in an uptrend on the weekly. Okay, you're just starting to get back above the weekly 20 just there. Do you see this? Because you had this weekly close above it, and you're holding it now as support. So this is where you've had a bit of a correction. You held the 1.272 just like you have for Bitcoin in the previous up cycles before continuation, and get into these price predictions up here in these forecasts. For personally, I think that, you know, again, not rocket science, not guaranteed, it's basically technical analysis, but I do potentially see that Bitcoin could reach an crypto could reach an $11.768 trillion market cap in this bull run. Okay, which, you know, would see appreciation across the board here for cryptos, not just Bitcoin. So this is what we're anticipating. You've had sort of a market cycle, halfway cycle, so to speak, rolling back to a key level of support. Structurally, you're looking beautiful for continuation. You know, come back up to 2.8, where you will run into a level of resistance on the market capitalization just there. And again, you probably roll back to the 1414 and hold that as support, and then continue with a trend. It's not going to be easy. You're going to run into these waveforms, okay, just like you did here on this high where you came up, you rolled back, you hit your head on the 1618 just there, and what did you do? You rolled back to the 1414, you held it support, continued, hit the 2.272, got through it, held a support, continued, and you got all the way up to the 4. Okay, so that's good. That's that previous cycle done and dusted. Right now, bear market, bull market started. Beautiful buy and go to the beach signal from CoinsKid just there. Okay, just after this capitulation event, boom, see you later, alligator. And you're right here now. This is where you are right now in the market capitalization for crypto. You got overextended. Look at the gap. Look at the overextension here on the EMAs to 20. You come back through. You've held the 55, which is absolute boss. Okay, on the total market capitalization, because look, in the previous bull markets you have little wicks down, you hold for continuation, and that's exactly what you've done here. You got really overextended. Okay, too much greed, too much FOMO, everyone thinking they're going to buy in up here, thinking they're going to be millionaires tomorrow. It doesn't happen like that. You buy fear, you buy blood, you buy corrections, okay, for continuation. And right now, look, beautiful, holding support, don't go short. You're looking for continuation just there for Bitcoin and crypto in this bull market. So yeah, once we get this correction out of the way and we do find that base this level of support and we start to retrace and form them new impulsive waves, you know, this is where I do see the appreciation for crypto in the space, and potentially getting us up to that $11.768 trillion market cap there for crypto off this next fifth wave that we are expecting for cryptocurrency across the board here. So watch this space. You know, I could be completely wrong. You might have plateaued here, but at the moment you're holding support. So this is why you're not in a bear market. Okay, you're holding support. Don't go short. Take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with a Bitcoin update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care. Bye bye.